We live, baby. We live. Let's jump right to it. August 14th. We going into week 2 now, preseason.
Yes,
football
sir.
right around us. So close we can smell it, baby. Here we are on the Man to Man Pod. Back. Missed y'all last week. We back in business Monday, August 14th, 2023. I'm one half of the pod. Darius Butler got my co-host, Antoine Bethea. What's good, AB?
What it do, my guy? Glad to be back. Glad that it's, football's back on the tube, man. So we got a lot to talk about. But like you said, most importantly, missed y'all last week, man. We back in motion, baby.
Hey, back in motion. Like you said, a lot of sports going on. Obviously, we had some Hall of Fame, NBA Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame. Had some big time golf going on with FedEx Cup. My guy Lucas Glover locking in. No F1, unfortunately. We couldn't watch Max Verstappen win.
Hey, we be all right. You know what I'm saying? We got football back, baby. We gonna be good.
Yesterday, we do have our USA team out there doing some things as well. But football is back. It's in full swing. We got a good look at some teams, preseason, some new coaches, some new quarterbacks, some young quarterbacks. Obviously, we're going to talk about some news coming out of our Indianapolis Colts facility once again, and we're going to get to anything else we want to get to before we jump right to this intro. AB, what else we talking about today?
Man, that's it, man. You kind of hit it on the head. As I think everybody's excited, man. Football's back on the tube, like I said, man. So, shit, man, let's get to this intro, man. Get back on the other side. Let's get it.
Hey, you heard it, man.
Man to man, yeah, we talking. Man to man, they can't guard me. Man to man, they don't wanna see us. Man to man, they don't know how to beat us. Man to man, 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 yeah, man, the struggle that's in me, that's why I want it so bad. Must be the hustler in me that keep my foot on the gas. When you got it from nothing and hard times ain't so bad, just know I'm coming for everything that they said I couldn't have. I put my life inside it, yeah, I kept it solid. Yeah, I played the field, that's how I feel about it. We put numbers on the board, we always up the score. Yeah, we stuck to the plan and never ran. Now they can't see it, man. Yeah, we talking, man to man, they can't guard me. Man to man, they don't wanna see us. Man to man, they don't know how to beat us. Man to man, 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 man to man.
Any way we can get it, baby. Any way we can get it. Yes, sir. We back in the building. Hey, something else we didn't even talk about with Tone, man. The top 100, the rounding out the top 100, that top 10, top 15. I saw somebody mention it while the intro was playing. Justin Jefferson being top 2. Up there, hey. Up there. Patrick Mahomes obviously won. But I definitely want to, if we got some time, to have a little bit of conversation about that. But, hey, appreciate everybody joining in once again, coming off a week that we missed. So do us a favor real quick. Shoot out a tweet, shoot out an Instagram, shoot out something. Let everybody know we back live right now. Use that hashtag M2M Live. Speaking of, what you want to get to, AB? What you want to jump right into, baby?
Let's jump into it. We talked about the Hall of Fame, man. I think that's always, not gonna say always, but that's one of the top goals when you do play sports, man, to be recognized as one of the best to ever do it. Pro Football Hall of Fame. We had 9 to join and get their bus, class of 2023. I don't know who you would say this class was led by, but you had Rondé Barber, Darrell Reeves, Joe Thomas,
Zach Thomas.
So you had a lot of good dudes here that put a lot of good work out there on the gridiron, man. So who was did you watch any of it? Any speeches? I know we always talk about the speeches, some that resonate more than others. Did you have one that kind of resonated with you or that kind of stood out to you?
I didn't this year. It was something that happened. It was pretty dope. I thought DeMarcus Ware singing the national anthem. It was obviously a lot of jokes that was made. I was making some jokes. I thought, what the hell is going on here? But then once I saw the reasoning behind him doing it, which was because of the late great Demaryius Thomas, former teammates. They used to always stand by each other, I guess, sing it while it was playing. But I thought that was obviously God rest his soul. But I thought that was a cool moment for him once again going into Canton. Zach Thomas, as a lifetime Miami Dolphins fan, I think anybody who's really been a fan or been a player and know the game knows he's one of those guys that should have kind of been in a while ago. I think London Fletcher is kind of in that same conversation. So it's really good to see him go in. And then Revis going in as a first ballot, which, I thought he should have. Rondé, kind of the godfather of that nickel position. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It was just a lot. I was just happy for a lot of these guys, man. It's always great. We got a lot of obviously former teammates. I think you should be on that ballot and in that conversation at some point soon here. But so it's always good to see guys see that, that bronze, like you said, that's the goal for most guys that put on the jersey. In that league, a lot of us realize pretty soon on, maybe that ain't it. Maybe I'm just trying to get on it. But a lot of guys who put in that work, put in that time on and off the field, to see it realized that was it's always an incredible moment. What about you? Anybody stood out in his speech, or anybody actually getting in and seeing him get that jacket put on him?
Man, I'm kind of with you, man. I don't think this year anything kind of stood out as far as speech wise. I would say, the Edgerrin, man, gold teeth to gold jacket. That was one of that, in the past that stuck out. And but this year, I think Rondé Bob, I think, was long overdue. With the like you say, just playing that nickel position for that Tampa Bay defense for so long, and playing outside, then moving to safety, man. Just what he was able to do as a DB, I think he was long overdue. Like you said, Zach Thomas played the position the right way. Darrelle Revis, obviously being in the league around the same time as Darrelle Revis when he was in his prime, and just talking about what he was able to do at that position. So it was just good to see, man. It's always good to see when guys are pivotal players on their teams, right? Where they impact not only their teams but the game as well. So it's just good to see, man. And obviously, it's some guys that's out there that's still waiting their time, still waiting their turn, and hopefully we can see those guys, get their bus created as well, man. But I'm happy for them.
Yeah, man. It's always always a great thing to see. Speaking of 2024. A lot of first-time eligible players. These conversations, I feel like, are always interesting.
I see two. That should go in for first time.
Hold on. Let me.
I see two.
Boom.
Well, I see one for sure. I say one for sure. Maybe.
I see two for sure.
I see one for sure. Maybe two.
Okay, my two are the top two. Julius Peppers and Antonio Gates.
Mine's two. I just say with Julius Peppers, you got some edge rushers that could really, kind of wait your turn, just like the wide receivers. You know what I mean? You got a lot of great guys, but you gotta kind of wait your turn. You know what I mean? So maybe Julius Peppers, but
Tone, where's Pep on that all-time sack list, Tone? I need to know. Hey, number two pick.
First thought, I said Julius Peppers, Antonio Gates. Okay, Antonio Gates for sure. I feel like it's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer. Julius Peppers, I definitely would be okay with that, but I could see potentially second go around, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Now, a lot of great players on this list. Andrew Luck, short injury riddled kind of career, but when he was out there, he was fantastic. And you saw, every year he was getting better and better. I don't think the resume is long enough, unfortunately. Eric Berry's career was cut a little short as well, but had an unbelievable career. Brandon Marshall, his numbers, games, especially with receivers, is tough. Haloti Nado was a dog. That's gonna come down to the voters and this and that. But he was a dog, and he was kind of one of the anchors of, some of those great defenses. You got Pac-Man, we got Doug Baldwin, we got Jordy Nelson, Jamal Charles, Mr. 5.0. His peak was special, but with the names who ain't got in, like you said, that position, it's gonna be tough. But to your point, them top two names, Antonio Gates, if you look up his numbers, we both were in the league during the same time with him. Same with Pep. Unbelievable longevity and production from both of those players, top of their class for sure. I'm right there with you. For these first-time eligible guys, I see 2 first ballot. I think I feel pretty confident. I don't know, DeMarcus Ware, he waited, right?
Yeah, he waited. That's what I'm saying. Like Mathis, you still got Freeney. I'm trying to think who else is coming off the edge. That
Abraham. John Abraham, his number is crazy too.
Yeah. So again, like you said, like I'm all for first ballot, but it could be one of those situations where might have to wait.
Yeah. So Tone said Pep is 5th all time. 5th all time in sacks.
That's hard to argue.
Top 5 tough. Top 5 is tough. But we'll see, man. Good luck to those guys. Obviously, once again, congratulations to all the guys that did go in. Will be forever remembered in the football community. Love that for those guys, man. Let's get to it. What you want to have to next, man?
Man, sure. While we on the Hall of Fame, NBA Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, won't have the brand in here, but but a lot of greats there too.
So we
from our era.
Let's get that graphic, man. But like you said, like a lot of greats.
Starting with for me. Yeah, who do you feel like led this class? We had obviously a bunch of the Spurs greats. We had Pop, Becky Hammond. We had Tim, Tony Parker. Did Manu go in or he already went in?
I think Manu already went in. You had Dwayne Wade.
Okay. D-Wade, obviously Flash. That's the dirt. Flash was the headline for me, though. But who do you think headlined this NBA class?
Man, that's tough, man. Shit, you got Tim Duncan, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough when you talk about. I think D-Wade, like you say, Flash. Wade County.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about what Tim Duncan was able to do as a player, man, like
special.
Very,
very special. Him and Pop, that long run that they were, I think, 18 years in a row or something. They were over 500 and won 50 games, getting the playoffs, 5 chips.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan obviously wasn't flashy, on or off the court, but just productive on both ends of the court. Number 1 pick. Probably the greatest, not probably, I would say the greatest Spur of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Wade, greatest Heat player of all time. Dirk, greatest Maverick of all time. Pop is in the conversation for greatest coach of all time.
So it's tough. Yeah. It's tough. I see, as a Florida boy, why you would go with Flash. If I had to say, I would go Tim Duncan, man. Even though, like you said, it wasn't
big fundamental. Yeah,
big fundamental. It wasn't done in a flashy way. It was just consistent. I'm a big consistent guy. Consistent. Oh, Duncan wasn't in this class?
Duncan ain't going? Oh, we tripping.
But sure, we know we had Tony Parker. Yeah,
Tony, yeah.
But damn, we tripping for real. I thought Tim Duncan was in this class.
Hey, it was all on stage. Congrats to the boy. That's all we need. Yeah.
So we probably saw the Pop. The pop clip when he had them boys up there, but Manu
had all 4.
Was Manu on stage?
I'm not sure if Manu was there. I feel like he was there.
Yeah,
I know
but
TP was
I
there for
think we
sure.
probably just seen the
TP went
clip
in with a
where,
bow tie. Yeah, we all they all kind of they all together, man. That run, that Tony, Manu, Tim, you know, players, man, Pop, you know, the boy, Becky Hammond was even on the bench with some. Here we go. Nate Smith, Basketball Hall of Fame. There's Dwayne Wade, Powell, Big Powell as well, Dirk, Tony Parker, and Greg Popovich. That is the class, right? It was a few more, but those are the 5 players. So Tim made it way back in 2020. Wow. Yeah. We knew that. What's crazy is a lot of these people going in, and LeBron obviously played against all these guys. I saw a whole thing where they did the swipe of all the coaches and players, father-son combinations doing a play. I think 2K ratings just came out, Tone hit us yesterday. Bron's still like a 96.
That's crazy.
He probably gonna go into the hall with Kyrie or somebody. He been in the league this long, man. But shout out once again to all those great players going down forever in the memory of the Hall of Fame. And now in the Hall of Fame in basketball, it's not only what you do in the NBA, but it's collegiately, I believe, internationally as far as the Olympic Games and the championship games. So that's tough, man. And yes, Tone, I said the Dwayne Wade is the greatest Heat player of all time. Yeah.
So who would you say is the greatest Heat player? You got Zoe.
LeBron. I ain't gonna say LeBron.
Because
he came and put the jersey. Now you say ever put the jersey on? Nah. Heat career, Heat player. He 13?
UD, man.
That first stretch? Come on, all right, here we go. We getting out of character.
UD, man. Yeah, UD, man.
We get out of pocket, man. But before we move on, a little more basketball before we get back to the football stuff, which y'all really care about. AB's got, man, he called these boys the most deadly duo in the NBA when Harden and Embiid got together, said the Sixers are going to run, win 2-3 chips, I think he said. And here we go again, James Harden. The saga continues. I thought him and Daryl Morey, I thought they was like this. They've been on the same page forever, but James Harden, this made his waves on Twitter this morning. James Harden, Daryl Morey, matter of fact, I think we got a video, but he basically called Daryl Morey a liar. He said it would never be a part of it.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
But he was reading off a teleprompter too. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I'll never be a part of an organization that he's a part of again. What you think about what's going on right now with your guy, man? This is one of your guys.
Man, James Harden is I would say at one point was a hell of a player. Right now, I think he's a good player.
Agreed.
I think he, took a step back, but still is effective. As a former professional player, I hate to see how the last few years for him has gone. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When he was in Houston, I think undeniably, man, he was top 3 in the league, top 5, top 5 in the league. Now, man, when just from team to team, it gets old. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's just like, you see, and I can care less as far as like what you do off the court. You know what I mean? As long as when it's time to go to work, you perform. But you see me come in out of shape. And at some time, this kind you take a step back and be like, man, does this guy have the lane to really be talking? You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not sure what was said behind closed doors for him to feel that way about Daryl Morey as far as being a liar.
Remember he took the pay cut. He took the pay cut, and I think they had kind of promised him either the long-term deal, and then this offseason it was a conversation about him being traded. And again, now I think yesterday or the day before said, hey, the trade talks are done. We expect to see James in training camp. So I think that was kind of what's been going on here.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to assume here, like, that you could be 100% right, but then it's it's another possibility on the other side that, you know, they might have had some conversation. So I don't know, you know what I mean? But it's just tough, man, when you obviously, you know, man, like, you know, you go into a situation, every situation, you look at it and be like, damn. So, you know, I just don't know, man. I just hope that it doesn't continue to go to this, you know, the trajectory that it's going right now with James Harden. But still a good player. I think he goes to any team, he'll help a team in the regular season at least. You know what I'm saying?
In the regular season at least. Are you trading? I'm not trading for him. I mean, honestly, I'm not trading for, because he obviously wants max money. We've seen a lot of players get max deals, and we know how the NBA works. A lot of these people get these deals. We look at it, outside the league, not really knowing, I guess, how it goes. Like, damn, he got that, he got this. Obviously, James feels like he's still worth that. A lot of people don't feel that way. But when you're trying to like build up a young core of players, or you trying to some type of culture, I can't build it around a guy who every year is something. Every year is a different conversation. Every offseason is different questions. And then on the court, so you talking about Daryl Morey, we saw James on the court this past postseason. Once again, first game, boom, lights out. I think Embiid wasn't even against the Celtics. He got 40-something, game winner. Okay, shit, James, this might be the time. And then I think the elimination game at home, they could have closed the Celtics out. He's 13 points. So, as a player, you got to show up and put that shit on the court. And then if you want, hey, this, that, and the third, y'all promised me this. But then when you're not doing that on the court, again, these front office people, they can get away with a lot because we can't see, like you said, it's assuming what's common. It could be a text message, could be a phone call, could be a handshake agreement. We don't see that, but we see what's taking place on that court. So,
and D-Buck,
I don't know, man.
And D-Buck, for real, I want to be a man of my word, but shit, I could promise you something. But on the end of that promise, though, like, you gotta bring your part to the table as well. And if you're not doing that, well, shit, I'm taking that. Forget that. Like,
And he probably made some of them calls. It wasn't hearing what he wanted to hear. It was like, hey.
Yeah, man. So, again, and then I even question the setting James Harden said that. Like, I don't know what type of setting that was. Where I see the James Harden court.
Yeah, he on his Chinese. That was in China, I believe. On his tour, and which is kind of interesting. Which is another layer to that. I think nobody's really talking about. Wasn't Daryl Morey the GM in Houston at the time that got some hot water, I believe, with something going on in China, or something he said in China. So for James Harden to go over and make that statement in China, I don't think that was a mistake either. But yeah, so that's a great point right there.
Yeah, so that's but to each his own, man. People go about their business how they want to go about it. And I guess we'll see where this saga goes. The saga continues with James Harden.
Hey, and the saga continues with our coach, Jonathan Taylor, Colts, Ursay, back in the news again. We got a tweet here from Stephen Holder, longtime beat writer, also contributor with ESPN for the Colts. According to Jonathan Taylor is expected back at Colts training camp this week. But first, a couple notable points. Number one, Taylor's position has not changed. He still wants to be traded. He has communicated to the team that he'll practice, play when he is 100%. We've seen some videos come out. Well, I've seen some videos where, he didn't even like walking around. He didn't quite look, 100% healthy. And that's a big issue. We spoke about this situation. My thoughts on it. I think JT needs to obviously, number one, get healthy, and then, be Jonathan Taylor on the field again. Ursay has kind of made his stance publicly. I'm sure probably privately as well. Taylor has made his stance publicly and privately as well. So we'll see where this continues to go. But this is us, I guess, an update from the Jonathan Taylor situation in Indy. And based on my timeline, I retweeted this tweet yesterday. holder. And based on my time, a lot of the Colts fans have already turned on 2-8, which I guess isn't surprising. But how you feel about this whole situation and where it's going?
This shit ain't good, man. It's not good. Again, man, it's the business of football, man, and the players have to realize the business of football for you and for the team. You know what I mean? Because there's two sides to it. And right now, I think we talked about it where, sure, I respect Taylor's position. I respect it. Do I agree with it? Maybe not, but I respect it where, you know, he still wants to be traded. He wants to get out of there, and that's fine. And as far as the communication, as far as like, you know, he'll practice or play when he's 100%. I kind of already see where that's leaning to. You know what I mean?
So you read between the lines.
I am, and you know, Newport News Public Schools. You know, some people might differ or whatever, but he'll practice or play when he's 100%, meaning that he's going to take his time. I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna really be 100% healthy when I come back out there. Versus, you know, if things were going in the right way, you know, if I 90%, 85%, you know, I might go out there and try to tough it out. But being in that, you know, we in the situation that we in now, I'm waiting till I'm 100%. So again, I don't think it's a great situation for anybody, Colts fans, JT, the team. You know, especially coming to the season, you know, you got the number 4 pick, you know, you got the young AR at quarterback. You lean on the running game that kind of opened the offense up, and you know, you had a spark of thinking like, you know, Colts could really do something. But now, man, not saying that, you know, you can't get another running back in there and, you know, make some things happen. But we was hoping that we'll get the old JT back, but it's not good. I hate it. I hate it for all parties involved. But
yeah, it's not good right now. We know the Colts, the organization, you know, however long Irsay is going to be in that position, but the coach, that organization ain't going anywhere. As far as the players, we got a short window, right? Especially running backs. And I think, you know, just the situation you're in now, you're coming off a very unproductive season. Obviously, you're unhealthy. And something's going on with the injury that we're not privy to, because that was an injury that happened way last year. So at this point, I don't have a problem, especially if you're going to be, you know, the bell cow of our offense or any offense you plan on playing on. I have a problem with you saying, hey, I want to be 100% before I start to practice in the preseason. Cool, 1,000%. But at what point are you getting to 100%? Like, and why aren't you already at 100%? So you got to figure that out, especially if you're talking about playing hardball and trying to get because, you know, Saquon, he 100% while he was going through his deal. Assuming Josh Jacobs, same thing. Tony Pollard, he had a bad injury late in the season. I think he's close to 100%. So, like, that's the biggest issue, I think, for JT right now, his health, obviously. And he just need another productive year. I would think, hey, that's priority number 1, 2, and 3 for me. Get healthy. You know the offense with a rookie quarterback who I expect, and that coaching staff probably expects to have his growing pains and his bumps, and you're not going to throw the ball 35, 40 times with a rookie quarterback. So you're going to depend on JT getting 25, 28 carries a game. So you should be primed for a big year. So, but we know it's a business. You want to have your money right. It's a second-round pick. So they can't tie him up with that 5th-year option, but they can franchise tag him, obviously. I don't think Irsay is going to let him leave the building personally. And then if you're another team, if you're another team, what are you going to give up? What are you willing to give up? And then obviously you're going to have to pay him too, or you're going to inherit a player who isn't happy with his money situation. A tweet coming from Irsay, who's based on, you know, his move, he pretty happy with his money situation, but most things I worry about never happen anyway. This is actually a quote I used to hear growing up. I didn't know it was a line from a Tom Petty song, I believe. But this was an interesting quote. I don't think it was random, obviously, by Jim Irsay, but I think he's basically trying to say Everybody relax. I think JT's going to be around. And I think my take, JT's going to be around. He's going to be in the Colts uniform for a long time. And I think he's going to go down as one of those another one of those Colts great running backs. I think that's how this whole situation turns out.
I hope, man. I hope. But until then, we got to talk about the team got to do what's best for them as well. Before we say that, the agent, I think the agent he should have rethought this whole process before, he got out on social media and stuff too, man. I think that could have helped some things out where, he could have had those conversations behind closed doors, not on social media. So I think the agent, man, got to take some accountability of where this kind of went as well. But
I haven't really heard much since, so maybe.
Right. Hopefully, some talk behind closed doors are going down. But then again, as far as the coach, man, you got some running backs that's still out there. You got Kareem Hunt. He visited the New Orleans Saints. I think it was reported that he was going to be visiting the Colts as well. Hey, Kareem Hunt can tote that tater.
And he catch out the backfield. So, just hypothetically speaking, they already not paying the running backs nothing. So you'll be able to get a good running back for say some pennies, and for him to be able to go in there and be able to produce, man, like it wouldn't show well for JT on that front either. And they signed Kenyon Drake too, who's a good back, can run the ball, can catch it out of the backfield. Sign him. Obviously, he's not prime JT, but good back.
Yeah,
good back. But I'm putting that good juju out there, as you like to say, that good energy out there.
Hey,
I think it all worked out. I'm sorry. We saw it get worked out with Lamar in Baltimore. We saw it get worked out with other places that wanted out. I think once he's got to get his health back, man. And he got to get his mind back right, too, with that team and how you treat the team and your teammates and all that. I think that obviously goes a long way. And I think, the fan base, once you're back out there producing, scoring touchdowns, contributing to wins, they'll be right back on your side. Fans are fickle sometimes like that.
JT, man, get out there, my guy.
Get back in there, man. But one of JT's teammates, along with some other rookie quarterbacks, made their debuts. I know you watch more preseason week 1 football probably than I did. But any I guess it's Monday. Any overreactions from these quarterbacks from their debut in the NFL?
It's a lot of overreactions, man. Some Colts fans saying, we have no shot, with the young fella, and then even, with the CJ Stroud, he threw a pick or his second pass or something like that. Will left. I mean, and I asked you last night, like, what are real expectations for rookie quarterbacks? And especially them coming in and playing their first preseason game. I think we got to have some realistic expectations. And then again, we talk about fans, we talk about blog writers and things of that nature. I think we kind of overanalyze the situation, right? Especially dealing with quarterbacks. Being that, okay, you see him in OTAs, you see him in training camp, but that's nothing like the real bullets. And even preseason is not like the regular season, right? So,
that's live scrimmage. That's live practice.
Facts, right? So we got to understand that, these young men, they're going to come in, they're going to make mistakes. Shit, we got 10-year vets, 12-year vets playing in position that make mistakes. So we got to understand that, these young fellas, they're going to come in, they're going to make these mistakes, and it's going to have some growing pains, just like you said. Like, you got to expect that Anthony Richards is going to have some growing pains, but you got to have that team around him, the good coaching, O-line, receivers, running backs, to be able to, those rookie quarterbacks to lean on. So we got to have some manageable expectations when you talk about putting a rookie quarterback in there, and especially starting day one. It's not going to look pretty. It's not going to look how you think it should look. You can have some glimpse of damn, like, okay, this is our future right here. And then it's gonna be some times you can be like, well, damn, like what was he looking at? So again, man, just reading some clip-ins and just looking at the game, man. We got to really manage our expectations with these rookie quarterbacks, and we really got to be real with ourselves.
Got to manage those expectations, as you said, and especially, I mean, really with all of them, because Bryce Young played a ton of snaps. C.J. Stroud played a ton of snaps in college. Anthony Richardson did not. Even a young guy like Trey Lance. Trey Lance struggled. Now that's where you may have a little more cause of concern because he has been in that NFL system and locker room for some years now. Even if you are hurt, not getting those reps, there's certain things you want to see once you take that field preseason football-wise. But it's a different ball game. Once again, it's practice. It's going to be really vanilla. The players, if you got a little, it might be a fourth-year player out there, and I'm going against a rookie quarterback, or I know what I'm getting. I know what routes I'm getting. I know I'm getting some curl flats. I'm going to get option sixes. I'm going to get the most basic route. So if I see him get to that, I'm jumping him dry. I could be a guy who played 3 games in my career, but I'm going to take full advantage of a rookie quarterback as opposed to once you get into the real season, you actually game planning and designing plays and having real audibles to get in and out of stuff. So that's part of the reason I don't even like to watch a lot of these preseason games, because you're going to overreact. Your eyes are going to tell you something, but you have no idea what's going on during those practices, during those meetings, the adjustment, the personnel. You may not have your real O-line out there, or a receiver or a tight end may be missing. So it's a lot of moving parts right now for these young guys. Yeah. And I know my first preseason game, man, like it's just a completely different experience. You know what I mean? It may not be, full capacity. You had that full real. But it's a complete. My first game was against the Eagles in the link, and Donovan McNabb, Sean Jackson, all these guys. I was like, oh shit, like this, this is a different ball game. I was deer in the headlights for a few plays, a few series. But so you dealing with a lot of those different things. What was your first preseason experience like as a young boy?
Man, so it was against the Seattle Seahawks as far as play time. I got hurt in training camp, and our first game was against the Rams, Steven Jackson in the backfield. I didn't play, but our next game was against Seattle Seahawks with Sean Alexander, and he was just coming off that crazy season prior. And
about to be able to cover
man, what? So like you said, man, and I was playing in the box that game. So my whole thing was like, damn, I'm playing against, I'm getting a true test my first go round. Guard pull, gotta get over that next gap, and I gotta fill that hole, man. But again, it was like one of those things where in training camp, okay, it's like clockwork. Okay, cover 6, cover 3, cover 1. But like you said, you hear that call now, so oh shit, what I'm supposed to do. So I can only imagine that quarterback. Where you thinking about what you're doing, you got to worry about getting the line. Obviously, sometimes most of the time you'll have a center or somebody, setting the protection, and then you got to think about you got young guys out there at receiver. They might not know where to line up at. So as a young quarterback, it's so much that you have to think about in 3 seconds, and you're probably getting a long play call in the headset, man. So just thinking about what I had to do at the safety position versus what the quarterback has to do, what they have to remember, the reads, pre-snap, post-snap. Man, it's a lot, man. And not to be easy or be soft on the guys, but we as fans, as media, we really gotta manage our expectations, man. Because again, not too many rookies come out here and be. So you look at Peyton Manning at his rookie season, it wasn't a great. You know what I mean? So we gotta
picks.
Yeah, we gotta give these players time. We gotta give them time at the end of the day. Give them time, and unfortunately, where we at in this world right now, people don't want to. People not patient. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll see, man. Hopefully, all these guys, man, go out here and ball, because I feel like at least 3 of the 40 you see on the screen, and the people that don't, not watching, Anthony Richardson, Stroud. And what's the young boy? Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Yep.
Bryce Young. I feel like they're going to be starters day one.
Absolutely.
So
and I think that's the right call. And we got a long time. We got around about 3 weeks, some change which is a long, long time in football terms to still get these guys prepared. But to your point, a lot of these guys, I'm just thinking about it now, a lot of these guys, well, how the college game is, they make a call or maybe a formation and maybe just get lined up and they looking at the sideline.
Yeah.
And somebody holding up and they telling the receiver, the offense, everybody their different plays and their different adjustments, as opposed to when you coming into that huddle and now you know, in that knee or whatever you're doing, you looking up at, 10 other grown-ass men, and you got to have command of that huddle, number one. You got to be confident in that play call. And then on the NFL level, you're making a play call, and then you're alerting to what the audible to that play call will be. So it's blah, 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 alert, blah, 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 blah. And then, boom, then you got to get there, see the defense, and know if you're going to stay in that play or change to the next. So it's a lot of moving parts. Bryce Young, I think his biggest issue is going to be his offensive line, what it's looking like early on. C.J. Stroud, you can anticipate the same. And then Anthony Richardson, the offensive line obviously got to show up. Are you going to have JT back? And then, but you got those physical attributes to move around like him. I'm not worried. He passed the eye test for me. I think we're in good hands. I'm not expecting a Super Bowl run this year. I'm expecting kind of an 8 to 10 win type season, depending on who's out there. But Anthony Richardson, I'm happy with where things are going with him and his development.
I got two questions one question, and then I'm gonna make a statement. Right? You talked about the quarterbacks in college. Now look to the sideline, coach on the sideline, holding caught up, and everybody can see this is the protection we're gonna run. The receiver, this is the route tree that you run, and quarterback, you really don't have to do too much after that. As a college quarterback, right now, I'm telling DB put his college coach hat on, head coach hat on. Do you think you're doing your men, your young men who's trying to go to the next level, a disservice in the fact that you're not really getting them ready for the NFL? I'll say majority. I'm not saying all college quarterbacks run their offense like that. You do have some NFL ready, some NFL style college systems, but the ones that's doing it that way, do you think they're doing their guys a disservice? And a second layer to that question is that, do you even care? Because as a head coach, that's real. Do you even care? Because as a head coach, all you want to do is win. You know what I'm saying? You want to get 10 wins, 11 wins, or whatever. Go to a bowl game. Yeah. You want to win. So, like, how you feel about that situation if you head coach?
That's the part right there. You want to win, and do you care? Do you care about how you're setting your recruits, your players up to perform and excel at the next level? Now, obviously, you should, because when you're recruiting a guy, let's say you're Lincoln Riley, and you can point at the guys, the Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, all these guys that you sent, number one, Jalen Hurts, that you sent into the draft, and they're being productive NFL quarterbacks. So you get a guy like, Caleb Williams, obviously, come and follow you. But so I think you should care. But the question is, do you care? But yeah, if you're playing offenses like that, if you're doing things like that, I think you are, doing your quarterbacks and your players in general a disservice if you're in tune and intentional about preparing them for the next level. I think for sure, because you're handicapping them in a sense. Like, I think it's important for a quarterback to, like, you got to have, I think at least, you got to have you got to be a grown-ass man in the huddle. And people got to be able to look you in your eye and know you confident in what you're saying and the play you're calling, and that you're going to make it work once we snap this ball. And that's going to make me do and help me do my job even a little bit better, especially at that quarterback position. And that kind of resonates throughout the team. People talk about cultures a lot on the NFL level. I think you have your culture, obviously, that's coming from the front office, and then the guys that's in that locker room, and then that quarterback, how he goes about his business, how he handles himself. He's going to be the mouthpiece a lot of the times for the team because he got to be in front of the media, every day, locally and in the national media at times. So that's important. So it's important to empower and set your quarterbacks up for success on that next level when you're on the big schools. But like you said, do the coaches even care about that? Because, shit, if you win in 10, 11, 12 games in college, you getting a bag, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, you should definitely care. But we're gonna get to this NFC West preview right after this This Reed, man. It's AB Reed. Let's see. I'm gonna listen to this. I'm gonna guess how many times this would take.
Yeah.
Shout out to FanDuel Sportsbook, presenting sponsor of the Man to Man Pod.
Summer is here with the variety of sports that you can bet on at FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel Sportsbook is providing a special offer where new customers can get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. There's no better place to bet this summer than America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com/M2M Live and get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Peace. What you think? What you think?
I'm gonna set the over/under with that one at 3.5, and I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna say it took you four.
You just lost.
4 times.
You just lost.
Damn.
3. It was 3.
3. Damn. I knew it was a good line though.
It was 3. It was 3.
I knew it was a good line though. It's solid though, man. Solid.
Yeah.
Shout out to the sports book. We're gonna fly through this division, the NFC West. Favorites right now. AB's one of his old squads, San Francisco 49ers, are the favorites right now, -165 to win the NFC West. Seattle Seahawks coming in second place at +200. Los Angeles Rams +1,000, and the Arizona Cardinals +2,700. Those are the teams in the NFC West. If you are unfamiliar, we're gonna start with these win totals. Sheesh. Arizona Cardinals, they got the line set on the FanDuel Sportsbook at 4.5 wins. Where are you on this one, AB? 4.5 wins for your Arizona Cardinals.
Damn.
4.5.
Let's see, man. Hey, that's damn. They can't win 5 games. It's
5 and 12. Kyler not gonna start the season, obviously. When does he come back? Does he come back? You know, if they 1 and 7.
I'm gonna go to under.
Damn.
Hey, I'm sitting here like,
That's tough.
That's tough, man. Like you say, with Kyler, then I'm looking on the outside, like who's gonna be able to throw to?
Under. AB said under. Damn,
I'm
that's
going
tough.
under.
4. You know what? I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. We're on the same page. We agree. They got him at +2,700 right now to win the division. No Kyler to start. Once again, a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon. Yeah, under. Not too much more to talk about there. Under. Los Angeles Rams. 6.5. Over. Under right now. Plus money over 6.5. Stafford returning. Aaron Donald something to prove this year. Cooper Kupp coming back. AB with a quick over.
Yeah, over, man. I think the Rams, they're gonna surprise, and I don't know how you say surprise. I know they had a tough year coming off the Super Bowl win, but I think, like you said, Matt Stafford coming back healthy. You got AD, always gonna be a force in the middle. Mm-hmm. I have them over 6.5 for sure.
I'm right there with you. I don't see Stafford, McVay, Kupp, AD. I don't see these guys going 6-11 or worse. I see him winning at least 8-9 games. So I think this is I kind of love this bet. And plus money is on the over too. What do y'all think y'all know that we don't know, FanDuel Sportsbook?
I don't know.
Shit, y'all got me. We're gonna go to the Seattle Seahawks. We got Q Diggs right there. If you haven't had the chance to go check out the interview he had with us on the Man to Man Pod, go to the page and check it out. I promise you will not regret it. But here's Seattle Seahawks. The over-under is set at 8.5 wins for the Seattle Seahawks.
Man,
what say you?
Geno Smith, man, balled out last year. I feel like we got a healthy Q Diggs, healthy Jamal Adams. Man, that secondary is gonna be tough this year. On the offensive side of the ball. Got DK. Lock, man. Give me over, man.
I'm right there with you.
Give me over.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I believe in Geno. I don't think the year was a fluke. he showed that the Seattle Seahawks made the right move moving on from Russell Wilson. I think they're gonna make those picks work. Kenneth Walker as a rookie running back was a dog as well.
Downhill.
Yeah, they got Jackson Smith, Enigma, out of, I think this is his name, out of Ohio State. Savvy route runner. You match him up with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and then, like you said, defensively, I think that back end, those defensive backs, I think they grow another year as a group. Very, very talented group led by Diggs, Woolen, Kobe Bryant in the slot, Michael Jackson, I believe, out there. So yeah, give me over. Give me over for sure. Yeah. Minus 142 on the over. So we over 8.5 wins. Then the San Francisco 49ers. Their over-under is set at 10.5. Brock Purdy, they're saying he's healthy. He's taking reps. Obviously, they're managing him throughout the season, but I believe he will be QB1. You got Sam Darnold, who I think, based on early indications, I think he's probably going to win that backup job, which is going to leave a lot more question marks for Trey Lance, who they gave up a ton for to draft him number 3 overall. But great pieces. Nick Bosa still working out his deal, but just very, very talented roster. Their over-under is set at 10.5 wins. I'm going to go first on this. I'm going to go over as well with this one. I got them winning at least 11 games. And what I think will be a top-heavy division in the NFC West. So I'm going over with the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Like you said, with the players on the roster, coaching staff, I got them over. I got them over 10.5 as well. I feel like this will be a division that we once used to talk about being one of the toughest divisions in football. I think we kind of get back to that this year. But I got San Fran. I got them 11 and 12 wins this year.
Right there with you. They were well on their way. And speaking of those, we're talking about those quarterbacks. A guy like Brock Purdy, played a lot of games. His school actually under some investigations right now with the bet and all that shit going on. He didn't have anything to do with it, but he came in and he was very prepared, I feel like, for the NFL and what came with that, being in that pro-style offense in college and then coming to the NFL. It was QB1. I mean, he looked like QB1, I would say probably about, he's a rookie, so it was like, is this real? How long can he keep up with it? But, I mean, he had the full grasp of that offense, making throws, being athletic when he needed to be. Just got to keep him upright, and can he stay healthy?
That's it.
And can Sam Darnold, if he needs to come in there and play a few games, can he be at least solid in this offense? So, good coaching with Kyle Shanahan. He's proved to be that, the offensive side of the ball. They did lose DeMeco Ryans. Great defensive mind. Went and took that head job out in Houston. So that'll be interesting to see if they can follow up the great year they had.
Our guys out there.
Who that?
Didn't Steve Wilkes get the DC job out there in 49ers?
That's true.
Yes, sir. Our guy is out there. So, we both know Steve Wilkes, man. So he would definitely have those guys ready to rock. If I know anything, the guys will be ready to run through a brick wall for him. Obviously, took in the interim head coaching job for the Panthers last year, and the guys played well. So I'm interested to see how you'll have that defense flying around as well. So good stuff.
Absolutely. Here we go. Just to wrap it up, over. I believe me and you are both on the same page. San Francisco over 10.5 wins, right?
Yes, sir.
Seattle Seahawks set at 8.5 wins. We got them over the 8.5 win total. The Los Angeles Rams. Where we at with this one?
Over once again. So the top 3 teams, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, we got over, and then the Arizona Cardinals, they got them at 4.5 wins. And wild enough, we both went with the under here. Yeah, I apologize, but hey, it is what it is, man. Before we go, man, I got a question for you, man.
Yep.
If Sam Darnold beats out Trey Lance for the number 2, man, what do you do with Trey Lance? He hasn't played much. So you really can't say he's a
tradable asset.
Yeah, I mean,
he that's a great question. He's a huge question mark right now. Honestly, you drafted him. don't think you, or maybe you do have a trade partner. Maybe somebody does come in and say, hey, I love this guy coming out. I think I can make it work here. We need a quarterback, or we got injuries here at this position. So you obviously got to keep him on the roster. You can't just, cut him free. He's owed a lot of money. So you continue to develop him in practice. He continues to take some of these scout team reps because the backup quarterback usually takes the bulk of them in practice. So you continue to develop him. And then if we know anything, especially about that building, you need all the quarterbacks you can get. So you may have a point in this season where you got to turn it over to Trey Lance for a few games, and hopefully he's ready. But once again, a very young guy, does not have a lot of college starts under his belt coming into the league as a third overall pick. So I think you just continue to develop him. And if he is needed to be called upon, hopefully he's ready. You do your job as a coach to have him ready.
Yeah.
That's the only option I feel like in that situation.
we shall see.
Yep. Go ahead and take us out, AB.
Hey, it's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monday. Get your 30 minutes in. Health is wealth. As always, we appreciate y'all tapping in. Smash that like button. We'll be back next Monday, same time, same place. Yeah, man. It's man to man.
We go, man. We out.
Man to man, yeah, we talking. Man to man, they can't guard me. Man to man, they don't wanna see us. Man to man, they don't know how to beat us. Man to man, 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 yeah, man. That's in me, that's why I want it so bad. Must be the hustler in me that keep my foot on the gas. When you got it from nothing and hard times ain't so bad. Just know I'm coming for everything that they said I couldn't have. I put my life inside it, yeah, I kept it solid. Yeah, I played the field, that's how I feel about it. We put numbers on the board, we always up the score. Yeah, we stuck to the plan and never ran. Now they can't see it, man. Yeah, we talking, man to man. They can't guard me, man to man. They don't wanna see us, man to man. They don't know how to beat us, man to man. Man to man, 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 man to man.
Any way we can get it, baby. Any way we can get it. Yes, sir. We'll see y'all Monday, 2 times a week, Monday, Thursday. That'll be coming soon. NFL season right around the corner. But as of today, we're going to check your boy out on Up and Adams in about 8 minutes. I'll let y'all next week. We go. Man to man.